Today we are learning Defence Technical Training, or DTT, for Joint Helicopter Command at the 4th IB. This course helps us understand what to do around the aircraft to assist 18 squadron operations. This course also goes towards promotion. If you like what you see from the largest British Milsim community, head to 4ib.co.uk for more info on how to join us. Have fun.
Bus.
Double V, Moses.
Just come over here and get in this skull circle. Right, so welcome to your Defence Technical Training. I am Acting Sergeant Alexander and, well, he's just went in there. That is Flight Lieutenant Hudson. Obviously, he's OC of Air Command. So just a few rules, don't interrupt or misbehave. If you need to go AFK, tell me and take a knee so I know that you're gone, and stand back up if you're back. So I know that you're present. Also, make sure you got your beer phase on, mags out your weapon systems, and safety catches on. So I don't want any NDs tonight. Yeah, just check if you got a beer phase in your kit and put it on your rifle.
Did you say mags off as well? Sorry.
Yeah, mags out. There we go. Right, so I will ask at regular intervals if you have any questions. Do you have any questions? No. Okay. So, who here has real life or has previous experience with aviation? No, you do, Larkinson.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What was you in the RAF for? Like what role?
If you're talking Larkinson, we can't hear because probably something to do with mic sensitivity.
Oh, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. What
Yes.
role was you in the RAF?
I left as a sergeant flight engineer.
Ooh. Okay. That's nice.
Mm. It's fun.
So obviously the ACs now. You are in number 22 squadron at the rank of aircraftman. So obviously DTT is a requirement along with phase 1 to join the unit and obviously progress to become a LAC, a leading aircraft men. So then you'll be starting your JHC career in whatever you want to do, whether it's piloting or crew. So obviously, after you've done your DTT and your phase 1, you'll be moved to your squadrons, whether depending on space or what you actually want to do. So, Larkinson, what do you want to do in JHC?
Pilot.
Pilot.
Yep.
So in 18.
Yes.
Okay.
Unless we bring 33 in.
Medic.
In 18, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Jen?
Pilot as well.
Where? In 18 or Patchy?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. Jet or heli in general.
Okay, understand. Obviously, Floxton's here. He's an Apache pilot. Hudson, he was flying the Chinook. Still can though, but yeah. So moving on, obviously, once you become an LAC, you can progress onto an SAC. So you'll need courses like signals, driving, advanced med, and JHC, land navigation. These all courses will be put on each month, so you'll have the opportunity each month if you miss a course or whatever to actually go on them, so you're not waiting around to get on courses. So after passing the required courses, you'll get to the rank of SAC. and obviously you'll become more senior, so you'll become more experienced. So obviously then you can progress on to anything else. So you can stay as crew and do more courses. So obviously you got JMLC, which is our version of the promotional course to progress onto whatever you want to do. So that can go on to 6s2 with the Apaches. You can stay with number 18 with the Chinooks, or you can go on to number 34 Squadron as a JTAC. Yeah. So obviously, passing SIC, you have you rank corporal, so you become an NCO. You'll be looked up to as an individual in that squadron for anyone that's beneath you, and obviously you can progress on to sergeant, flight sergeant, etc. We do offer a fast track pilot route for those who want to go on to become a pilot if there's any of the spaces available. I think there's only one, isn't there, Hudson,
Huh?
for pilot if they want to go fast track?
Yeah, it's in 662 as an Apache pilot.
Yeah, so there's only one spot.
There may be more coming for the Chinook.
There you go. So yeah, so the opportunities are there. It's just you know, it's a case of whether there's space or not to cater for people, because obviously we are growing and we are expanding, but as a within JHC we are kind of constrained right now, but we will expand as the unit expands as well. So yeah, so that's fast track. So you can, you know, you don't have to climb the ladder as such, so you can just go straight to a pilot. But obviously, becoming an acting pilot officer or an acting sergeant, wherever you want to go, obviously you still got to do the courses for that rank. Obviously, if you don't get the courses done within that time frame, then obviously you'll have to be brought back down, and then you'll have to try again if any of the officers gives you the option to. So yeah, tonight we'll be covering through aircrew roles, aircrew procedures, basic logistics, aircraft servicing, and driving regulations. So how you would drive around the airframes around an airfield like this. So is everyone, before we start, has everyone got a notepad and pen?
Yep.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Lockinson?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. Right, so starting off, we've got the pilot. He's the IC of the airframe. So obviously he's the one who's focusing on flying and safety of the flight. He communicates through preset 26, so that would be the pilot's net. So he would communicate with other pilots in the airspace. Then you have the co-pilot, which is the 2IC of the airframe. So he focuses on navigation. Obviously, he would be the he would become the pilot then if the pilot is incapacitated, whether he gets shot out or he, you know, something happened on the airframe. He would take controls and try and fly the helicopter back. Obviously, he will be communicating as well with ground assets, so he'll be communicating with Air Command HQ and also JTACs on the ground, whether that be with whether you're R18 or with the Apache. Everyone understand those two roles, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Then you've got the crew chief, so he's a 3IC of the airframe. He is responsible for loading and unloading the cargo and personnel on the Chinook. So, so he's in charge of everything that's in the rear, whether it be personnel or equipment. He can be delegated comms through the pilot. So, say if we have a MERT run, he'll take over a fluid net and get a misstat report. Don't worry if you don't know what a misstat report is, but he can still do comms. It's the same if the pilot gets in I can't speak today. If he goes tier 1, don't worry if you know If you don't know what that means, it just means that if he's unconscious, the co-pilot can dedicate comms to the crew chief to speak on, basically. So, yeah. So he's also responsible for the config at the back of the Chinook. So if you all come with me. Yeah, so if you look inside, you can see it's in transport mode right now. Yeah, so it's in transport mode. Where's Hudson gone? Hudson. Oh, he's gone off. Give me a second. Actually, no. Moses, if you want to go inside, go round the right hand side there to the door. Not inside, not literally inside.
Sorry.
Yeah,
It's
so
inside.
on the right hand side, you should see a scroll wheel option. Choose the crew chief.
Yep.
Yeah. So I want you to lift the seats up. So scroll wheel, there should be options to fold seats. Yeah, so if you want to come back out.
Double V to get out.
Yeah, it's either double V or scroll wheel to get out. Yeah, so this is what you would have the Chinook in for logistics. So they don't have the script on for this Chinook, so they took it off. So you would be able to load in actual physical crates into the back of the Chinook, so they would actually slide in. But yeah, if Larkinson, if you want to go in the crew chief slot and pull out the stretchers. Yeah, so that would be how you would configure the bird for MERT. So obviously all the casualties will go on to the stretchers. Everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So that was the crew chief, so that he's responsible for those. So then you have the load master. So he fulfills the crew chief role from the rear if there's no crew chief, so he would be the next in line for crew chief. So he's responsible for the rear sector of the airframe, so he loads the equipment or packs in to the airframe. So he would go out of the airframe, pick up the packs and guide them to the rear of the Chinook, whether that be packs, equipment or casualties. He also mans the rear weapon, would be the GMP. Obviously, in real life, it wouldn't be the GMP, it would be an M60 variant. Obviously, you've only got a GMP here, so yeah. Does everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yep. So then you have the most junior role on the Chinook, which is the WESOP, which is the Weapon System Operator. The most junior, as I said, the most junior member of the crew. He's responsible for the left-hand side of the airframe. So that would be that part. So if you come around here. Follow me, follow me, follow me. He's responsible for the M134 on the left-hand side. So he's responsible of defending the airframe if come under fire with the permission of the co-pilot or the pilot. Everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to go through a little bit of radio stuff. So, everyone just get in the skull circle in front of me so I can see you all. Yeah, okay, so if you want to bring up your ACE, Control and Windows key. You should see radios, and you should see 343 on there. If not, let me know.
I don't see radios.
Okay,
I had
give me a s-
radios in my kit and now they're fucked off.
Give me a second. be going the crate now. Here. Should be 343s in there. Grab one. Everyone got one then, yeah?
Yeah, I got one.
Oh, clearly I didn't pick one up.
Okay, let's move that out the way. Right, so yeah, control, Windows key, you should see radios at the bottom.
Mhm.
Then your 343 off over that, and then it should say open. So I want you to set that, so on the left hand side you see detach handle. Everyone seeing that?
Yes.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep, so you should see a blue circle, click that until you see it go to block 8. And then attach handle after you've done that. Everyone done that?
Yep.
Yep, so basically now you're on channel 1, block 8. So that's the Texas 11 call signs channel and block. So you should be all, wrong one. You should be able to hear me now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I hear you.
So that is one way that the crew can communicate, but obviously in the Chinook we have an intercom system, so you can speak inside the Chinook clearly. I'm going to skip over because that's just signal stuff. Don't need to know. Right, for that's. Does anyone have any questions for the aircrew roles on what they do on the Chinook?
Nope.
No.
No.
Wait, does the load master just load everything in, and then the crew chief just oversees that?
Yeah, so the crew chief oversees everything in the back, and then the load master is the person who loads all the stuff into the Chinook. So whether
Going forward, that crew chief role is going to change, though. Hopefully, that crew chief will no longer existent anymore, and that will be the RAF MERT doctor position. So literally just someone dedicated to medical, and all the man management role will then fall onto the load master in the back of the Chinook. But for now, don't worry about that because I need to talk to Coy about that tonight. But that's just going forward in the future.
yeah, but obviously, like before, what Hudson said, there's the step ladder of seniority would still exist there. So there'd still be an IC2, IC3, IC in the Chinook. So yeah, any other questions?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Okay, let's move on. Aircrew procedures then. So obviously pre-flight. So once you come onto the server, you just loaded in, you sorted out your kit, you got everything that you need. You'll do your pre-flight stuff. So the pilot and co-pilot will go into the airframe. They will set the intercom up, so they will get on the crew intercom. They will check the airframe for damage inside. Obviously, on the inside you'll see all the things. So the engine, the hull, the instruments. They'll check for damage on there. They'll check the fuel. They set up the radios, and they'll check the hood, the radar, GPS, and all that stuff. They'll also do an inspection around the airframe on the to check for any damage also. So for the crew then, obviously the same thing. They'll check the external for any damage. They'll board the airframe, configure the crew intercom, check weapon systems, so they'll check the ammo status on the minigun and the GPMG before going off. They'll set the ramp to level. That is important, that the ramp stays level. Never open it unless you are doing logistic stuff. So obviously, if you leave the ramp open and the Chinook is coming into land, then it will blow up. Everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So go through ground procedures then. Who can I pick on? Nichols, if you want to grab the fuel truck and just bring it to that lamppost there for me, please.
Okay.
Hudson, can you drain the this Chinook of its
Yeah.
fuel? And yeah,
I'll only do it halfway. We'll be waiting for fucking ages.
yes,
Is third person disabled? Because I'm not sure if my controls
Yes.
are being made. Oh, okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we don't use the third person. It's all first.
Yeah, no, I just wasn't sure if my controls were being fucky or what.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks. Oh fuck.
Is that too close or is that perfect?
Yeah, that's fine. Just leave it there. Right. So obviously we've this is going in through the maintenance of the airframe now. So obviously you've got your refueling, your rearming, and your repair. So obviously when you are using or driving vehicles around, be careful of the rotor blades. Obviously with the Chinook, they have very long blades. Do have other airframes, so like the Apache over there, and you've got the Pumas over there. Just be aware of the rotor blades when you're driving. So obviously, when you are coming into whatever job you're doing in like refueling, rearming, or repair, you want to drive the man truck on par with the Chinook. So wherever the Chinook's facing, you want to drive it towards the front. So never like reverse into it or like back yourself doing U-turn or J-turns and shit like that. You just want to drive straight into it and get alongside the Chinook. So obviously you've got your big mirrors and all that to judge distance and that. What you never want to do as well is drive off in the same direction. So once you are, so do an example, Nicholas, yeah, if you, not Nicholas, Nichols, yeah, so get back in and then drive it on par with the Chinook for me. If you lot want to move over there so you're not in the way.
Hold on, I'll move in a sec. Just typing to Jordan.
Is that good?
If you,
A bit further forward or?
obviously, if you want to come around here, you need to judge the distance between the Chinook and the actual Chinook. Obviously, if Hudson gets the fuel now, is it going to reach?
Should do.
Yes, it should. But obviously, sometimes you won't get the distance right, and then you'll have to keep on moving it back and forwards. So the only thing I'm going to say with all of this, obviously, you did that right, Nichols, driving the truck here. Do not drive forward when you're going out. So you always drive backwards.
Okay.
Can anyone tell me why you would do that?
Because you're gonna
If you-
you're gonna smack the truck on this road. Duh.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you got that spot on. So you will always want to drive it backwards and not forwards, or pull to the to the side. Yep. So obviously, with the refueling and the rearming and the repair, it's if you all want to come here. Ace interact with it. You'll see refuel, and then take fuel nozzle. Fuel nozzle. No one take the fuel nozzle, please. That is the way how you'll refuel it. So like you saw with Hudson when he got the fuel nozzle, it will spawn in your hands, and obviously you walk up to the Chinook and just the left mouse click and it will connect to it and refuel it. It's the same with rearming. So whatever weapon systems are on the Chinook, so you got the GPMG and the M134, it will come up with the same.
Sorry, I can't see where to get the refill from.
So you'll see interactions, yeah. If you look
You
on
got to
the
use
Windows-
the Ace Interactive
Ace
Windows key.
Interactive.
So that's the Windows key.
Yeah, so control Windows is yourself interacting. Windows is the interacts with the environment.
All I've got is deploy tow ropes.
Look,
Same.
it's not scroll wheel. So if you Windows key in the middle of the man truck, you'll see
Oh,
interactions.
that's his. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah, I see it. Yeah,
Interactions, refuel, and then you'll have the options as well.
yeah, see it.
Also,
Sorry.
you have the options to check fuel counter and check remaining fuel. Always do that and take note of it, because obviously, if you're going to use the fuel truck and you run out of fuel and you don't tell anyone, then obviously that's going to turn into problems when, say, the Apache. Obviously, with the Apache, you can refuel itself, but obviously, if any bird needs fuel and there's no fuel, you're hindering those packs. Operation on that day, basically, because you've got no fuel, and then we'll have to go to Zeus and spawn down a new fuel truck, etc.
Do you ever do rotors running refueling?
Yeah, so hot refueling, yeah, but you'll
Okay.
have to, for that, you'll get permission from Hudson or Jones or whoever's in command to do a hot refuel.
Would that be done by the loadmaster?
Yeah, or any of the crew that's
Okay.
on there. Well, on the day, but normally, yeah, loadmaster or the crew
Basically,
chief.
anyone who's got a driving qualification who's free to do it will do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so the same thing again would be if Nichols, if you want to drive the refuel truck back to that location, and
Let everyone have a go at it first, Alex.
yeah. If you joined it, yeah. Rose, if you want to have a go. There you go.
Can I go FK for literally 1 minute, please?
Yeah, taking it. Yeah,
When
so-
you refueling, you should see the little tab in the top right-hand corner. If fueling started, probably would have
Yep.
gone by now.
Yeah, it has.
When the fueling's complete, in the same place, a tab will pop up saying fueling complete. Because it sounds like just literally means the tank's of fuel. You can disconnect the nozzle and return it. So we'll wait for that to happen so you get the full experience of it.
Feeling complete. Okay.
Yeah, so
Take the nozzle.
yeah, interacts with intake nozzle.
Gench, have you done all this stuff before or not?
Not really.
Yeah, so if you turn
And
back,
release it. Yeah.
no,
No.
it will just drop on the floor. So just take the fuel nozzle and then turn back to the refuel truck and
Oh, yeah.
right click. So it's on the floor there.
It's on the floor. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, so do the same thing again. It ice interacts with it.
Windows key.
Yeah,
Take
Windows
fuel
Yep.
nozzle.
It only gives me option of refuel.
Take.
Hover over refuel and then look at the right of it.
Okay. Let me move
Yeah,
away.
take-
'Cause it might just be at the bottom because it's there.
So refuel and then take fuel nozzle.
There it is. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
so
Take it back to the truck and right click.
Refuel nozzle. Okay. Thank you.
Have you done all this shit before or do you want to have a crack at it again, Chev?
I've never done it, but I get the.
Get the idea, yeah? That's fine.
I get it. Yeah.
Cap, if you want to have a go now.
Top right-hand corner, say fueling started, yeah?
Yeah, it says fueling started.
Cool. I only took 20% out, so it shouldn't take long. I say that.
Does it come up for refuel complete?
No, it hasn't said complete yet.
That's 100% on there.
Let's
You'll
just
be right now.
Is it?
take it out. Yeah, there you go, same thing. Right click on it.
Cool. Right. Before we go any further, I know you went through all the crew roles. Has everyone had a go at moving the seats about?
No, I haven't.
I haven't either. No.
Me too.
Cool. Well, Alex, take me through how to move the seats around.
Yep, so come to the right hand side of the truck.
You know how to do it, don't you?
Yeah, so
I know, yeah.
if you want to click on the cap, press the crew chief, then you'll get into the middle of the Chinook. You should see, if you scroll wheel, you should see options to fold stretchers, fold, unfold seats, etc.
One second. What, remove pilot doors, remove stretchers, and open hatch.
Yeah,
I've seen you do
Yeah,
that.
give me a ring when you're ready.
the seat should unfold. Scroll wheel. See the option. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so that's the different configs that you can do.
Alright, do you want me to fold them back up?
No, you can leave them out. It's fine. Jenny, if you want to come up. Yep. So same thing. Scroll wheel. You can see all the options. So fold seats, stretchers, and you got the hatch as well. That's the different configs that you can have. So from transportation and sling loading. You happy with that?
Yep.
Yep. Crew chief, so just scroll wheel. There you go. Same thing, just overplay about scroll wheel. Yep.
Remove stretchers, yep.
Yeah, so that's in logistic mode now. So if you unfold seats, that's in transport mode. Yeah, you also have the hatch you can lift up as well. That's for sling loading. So
You gone over the process of boarding passengers or not?
sling
Not
loading.
yet, mate.
You can actually
Right.
put the sling loading and watch the cargo.
Can we do that now?
If you want to open the hatch, yeah, it's up to you. Yeah. There you go. You happy with that then?
Yeah.
Yep. Does everyone know how to play?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
You gone over the process of deboarding and boarding?
I'm going on to that now.
Spencer's going to give me a bell, so if you need me, I'll be over in the corner.
Yes, and so obviously, like I said earlier, I'm going to ask a question now. Larkinson, who's in charge of loading packs into the bird?
Loadmaster.
There you go. So the loadmaster, obviously, let's just say that we have just landed at a this airfield, and we have packs to board. So obviously, the procedure for that would be the loader would debus. The loadmaster would debus. He would contact the infantry IC or 2IC, to whoever's there wanting to debus and has got a debus get into the Chinook and has the rank and or NCO or an officer who's there. They'll get the details. So the details would be how many packs and where are they from, so what section or what department, etc. Everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at that point, with that information, he or she would pass that information to the co-pilot over the short range. So the short range that you are on now would be how you would communicate outside of the bird. You don't need to use the radio inside. So obviously they'll pass that information to the co-pilot via the PRR, and then obviously pass that information up, and then the co-pilot will do his thing and pass that information up to ACHQ, and then the co-pilot or pilot will give the permission to board. So obviously you would ask permission to board, and then he will give that permission. So the loadmaster will then lead the infantry to the safest and most direct route, the airframe without crossing firing arcs, etc. So that's the important part. You need to ensure, if you're in the loadmaster position, that the infantry is following you and not going, doing zigzags, because they're under fire or anything. They have to stay with you. So you're the point of ingress to Chinook. What do you think that would be?
Don't want people wandering in front of low-flying blades or in front of the minigun, that sort of thing.
Then also, obviously, if you're coming into, okay, there goes Flockton. So obviously, if you're coming into a HLS that's not been cleared, and you might have IEDs or mines down, obviously, if someone goes wandering around and they activate and step on an IED, what do you think is going to happen to the Chinook?
It's gonna damage it, innit?
Damage it, or destroy it, etc.
Destroy it.
Then that means that you've just that person's just ruined everyone's night. Then, so obviously, if you have to shout at them to get into, to stop messing about and follow you, then so be it. Because obviously, if he goes off and, like I said, activates an ideal mine, then that's your night ruined and everyone else's. Everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
So all the personnel would then approach the aircraft in an orderly fashion, so one behind the other. In a crouch position, why do you think they are crouched?
Because of the downdraft.
Blade.
Yep, so downdraft and blades, obviously it's armor, we don't have downdraft, but yeah. But in real life, yeah, that would be a thing.
Oh shit.
Obviously with the blades, they are dangerous, they can actually, not tear you apart, but it can hurt. So obviously you need to be in a crouching position. So obviously whatever you do, the infantry do, so if you're crouched, they need to be crouched. Everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, so obviously you don't have to be crouched if the Chinook is basically like this now, not powered up. You can just stand and just walk over or run or whatever you want to do. And
How many packs can the Chinny hold?
I think about 46 including crew.
36.
36, there we go, yeah.
Wait, no, hold on. I'm at 32 packs and 5 crew members.
Yeah, so yeah, round about that number.
So let's say, for example, we're infilling 32 packs.
Yeah.
Would the loadmaster load them into chalks of 8 and do them 8 at a time? Is that the sort of procedure?
Normally with the infantry, they just line up behind each other, so they'll get in herringbone and then just follow on each other. So,
Okay.
yeah. Obviously with the Chinook, they'll obviously sit on the seats, and then obviously they'll file in on the in the middle, sitting down on the floor. So, like on arrival to the aircraft ramp, then the glowmaster will crouch at the side of the door and ensure that all the packs get on onto the Chinook. Obviously, sometimes you'll have mishaps where packs will click the option to get onto the ramp, so they'll be on your GPMG. So obviously, ensure that they get off and then get onto the Chinook properly. So once all the packs are on board, the loadmaster will embark. So they'll get onto the ramp and then they will call last man in, rear clear. So you will be the last man basically. Last man rear clear is an indication to the pilots that it is safe for them to make a departure. This phrase should only be used once all personnel are safely on board. The loadmaster informs the infantry, so he'll go on to Ace Interact and then the intercom and then packs on the airframe, and will ensure their intercom is switched to cargo or packs, now it's called. This will prevent the pilots from being disturbed while they are trying to fly the airframe. It is important that the crew ensure that all non-essential chatter ceases immediately after taking off. So this ensures that the pilot has, focus, so they can actually get out of HLSs and 2 HLSs depending on flight times and all that. So it will come up to then. So the crew chief will give his brief. So this would be just to ensure the infantry is on whisper. he will tell the infantry the locations. He will clarify the locations for sections and what order. So the grids of the HLSs they'll be going to, depending on what section are aboard, we'll have different sections for different HLSs. So obviously, we comms to a whisper. Once on deck, so say at a HLS, the crew chief will call D-bus on the PAX intercom, and obviously the PAX will get off and do their formation around the Chinook to safeguard the Chinook on a HLS. Anyone got any questions on that?
Nope.
No.
No. Moses?
Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
So obviously, with the infantry debussing, 1 kilometre away, the pilot or co-pilot will call 30 seconds warning for the infantry in the back. So obviously that will go through to the crew chief, and then the crew chief will go to the infantry 30 seconds. At that point, the infantry are to remain silent so the pilot and co-pilot can focus on getting the bird down on that HLS. Obviously, when it comes to call on safe on deck, and then the crew chief or the loadmaster, doesn't matter who, will call debus, debus, debus. So the infantry will then get out. And then the infantry will fan out in a horseshoe type formation on the rear of the bird to ensure that obviously they're not going to get hit by the Chinook or get teared up by the rotor blades when it gets off, and also to protect the Chinook because obviously it's only got a GPMG and a minigun. So obviously when the infantry are all out, again, whether it be the crew chief or the loadmaster will call last man out, rear clear. Again, that phrase rear clear will then tell the pilot, okay, he can lift. So anyone got any questions with infantry debussing?
Nope. All good.
Okay, so takeoff and landing procedures then. So depending on the pilot, but normally it's natural. Some of the pilots can request the co-pilot or crew to call out the altitude or the speed of the whilst they're landing. So whilst their focus is on getting the Chinook down, the co-pilot or crew chief or whoever's in the rear can, by request of the pilot, call out the speed and the altitude so the pilot can concentrate on getting the bird down. So obviously you can ask the pilot, say if you're on up, and you can ask him or her, do you want me to call out the speed and the altitude of the airframe? He can say yes or no, it's his preference, but that it has been done before and it is really helpful for the pilot so he can just focus on getting the bird down. So obviously, with the positions of the Chinook, then you have the rear, you have the left, the right, and obviously the fore position. So with the crew members inside, you all need to have an awareness around the Chinook. So once we're coming into a HLS, you need to call out obstacles, whether that be in the rear, in the left, or the right. That's another job of the crew is to call out obstacles. So obviously, if we're coming into this spot right here, if you look around yourselves now, what obstacles can you see would be impeding this Chinook to land right here in this spot?
Biggest one's the fuel truck.
Fuel truck.
Yeah, so the fuel truck, and what else?
Lamppost.
Lamppost.
Yeah. So obviously, when we're coming in, you need to call those things out so the pilot can adjust his course onto that point. So again, you're the pilot and co-pilot's eyes around the Chinook. So without those call-outs, you'd crash basically. So every time, it will come second nature to you to call out things if you do the crew stuff more often. So yeah, that's another job that you have to do in the Chinook is, just awareness of what's around you. So it's crucial for the loadmaster as well to give the pilot information about the clearance to the rear of the airframe. So normally the co-pilot will be on the camera in front of the Chinook, and he will call out a last obstacle. So this last obstacle would be the lamppost. Let's just say that the fuel truck isn't there. The lamppost would be the last obstacle for the loadmaster. So once that obstacle is passed, the loadmaster will then call the lamppost is clear. So that indicates that there's no more obstacles to come to the rear, so he can obviously tip down and start landing. So obviously the loadmaster should be vocal. So obviously you need to ensure that you are clear enough so the pilot and co-pilot can hear. Because obviously if they can't hear and they're going to land and there's an obstacle there, then they're going to crash. So when it comes to say the pilot doesn't notice that there's an obstacle, but you notice it, you must shout maintain. So that gives the pilot a clear indication that they need to maintain their altitude to pass that obstacle. Everyone clear with that?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. So once that obstacle is clear, then obviously you say rear clear, and then that gives the pilot indication that the rear is clear and he can start his descent down. Right. What is it? Get a 5-minute break. Yeah, if you need to go, take a knee. If not, just wander around, but just stay where you are, have a chat or whatever. You've got 5 minutes.
Sorry, did that come out?
Yeah, that.
Sorry.
That did, yeah.
You said get a drink.
What are you drinking? Fucking champagne.
Red wine.
Yeah, if you
Fair
want to go in the Chinook and check it out inside all the crew positions again, then you're free to do so. Just don't be shooting any of your weapon systems, please.
It was kind of tempting.
This is Akatiri now, isn't it?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, obviously it's not in Greece. Well, not Greece. Sorry, Cyprus.
It's just
we
the
are in
temperate,
Greece,
isn't
but
it?
yeah.
What happens if I'm standing in the back right when they take off? Like, I'm not actually.
It's like getting run over, isn't it?
Well, you'll just desync into the bottom of the Chinook and just drop.
Oh, fair enough.
I mean, the engine isn't capable of, that stuff.
Yeah, because Armor 3 is a great game. That's just too much physics in that, to be honest.
Yeah, so as it is now, that's all the way open. You never want the ramp like that when you're trying to land, because obviously the Chinook, it's
Yeah, you can see it
it's
move.
top heavy. So once it comes in, obviously he banks its nose up and puts his rear down first. And obviously it's going to whack on the ground and it's just going to blow the airframe up. I will allow the ramp to be closed if you're taking fire, but obviously you've got a GPMG right there. So I wouldn't expect you to close the ramp because you've got a gun right there to shoot people with.
I mean, can you not still fire the GPMG because it goes down?
Well, it doesn't give you a good arc if you've got it the ramp closed.
Okay. Why is this one red?
It's display team colours, but
Oh,
those ones
okay.
over there are green.
Yeah, I saw them. That's why I was confused.
Sergeant Angus did this for us in J4.
Pretty fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like 81 squadron.
Well, yeah, because it's back to front. Pardon.
Do you know the load capacity of these as well?
For
Non-passenger. How many crates?
for the script isn't working. So, but for if it ever does come back in, it can get about, I'd say about 4 to 6, depending on the size of the crate. With those, about 6 with those crates behind you.
Okay. Do we ever undersling vehicles, artillery, anything like that?
Yep, we can do, yeah, but because it's armor, we don't really sling load anything.
Look, as I've done that, I've underslung stuff before, and it's not fun.
Yeah.
Just
Fuck
like
that armor!
So we'll go through the basic logistics soon, and it is kind of good. I might even get Hudson to do a little thing for us.
but because of how the physics works with it, the ropes themselves aren't actually physical objects.
I'm an instructor,
Okay.
so I want someone else so I can stay here.
I was going to say I'm a pilot, but I'm not doing it.
And you're on the course, mate, so you're not flying yet.
I know. Not flying yet. Yet I think there's not one up night where I haven't flown.
No, I meant like now, not yet. You can fly after this, but not now.
Are you kidding? After this, mate, I'm going to fucking bed. My head's pounding.
Oh, there you go then. Sorted. Right, what time is it? 1 minute left. Is everyone here?
Yep.
Thanks.
Yes.
Does everyone want to crack on now? We've only got logistics
Yeah.
and some like
Yeah.
questions and that at the end. Right then. So basic logistics then. So obviously we don't really cater. We used to do logistics for the whole unit, but it doesn't really happen now. You might come back in the future. We never know. But yeah, with crates then. So obviously with the crates, not these crates, sorry, but yeah. There's different crates, so they'll have the names of them. So it could be 1 platoon HQ, 2 platoon HQ, Air Command, Koi HQ, etc. So obviously you need to mark down what the crate is, where it's going, and ensuring that that crate is loaded properly. So if you let me spawn down more crates. How many? 6 in it.
Just mark down what it is and where it's going, did you say?
Yeah, so what crate it is, so you'll be able to let me spawn down a crate for you, so you can actually see what it actually looks like. 4th IB.
Do they have to go in the reverse order of coming out? Or can you just pick which one you want to grab?
It depends on what crate it is, but I can't really. Hold on, I was trying to see where.
Sorry.
I don't think they have it in here, but yeah, it's. Give me a second. I'm trying to find a crate that has the. Oh, this is annoying. Oh, there we go. So that's a 1 platoon crate behind you. That's 11. That's 11 ELD. And this
Rest in
one
peace.
is JHC.
Oh, it says on the bottom, 1 flight HQ. Okay.
Yeah, so you can see on the markings where all the writing is, you can see 1 platoon HQ, 11 ELD,
Yeah.
and JHC.
It's just down there.
It's on the white spray paint you can see.
Oh, yeah. I've never fucking noticed that.
So you'll see these crates everywhere on server. So if we have to bring logistics and that, obviously you need to take down the name of the crate, so who it belongs to. So let's say 1 platoon. And obviously you need to write down what HLS it's going to and the grid coordinates for it. Everyone understand that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I want all of you to grab a crate. Doesn't matter what it is, either that crate or this one. Just grab one and follow me to. Actually, yeah, Nichols, if you want to remove the refuel truck now. You remember what I said about driving?
Turn in with the crate.
Yep. So if you want to go to the left-hand side and make sure that it's in line with the Chinook as well.
Keep going, Marcus. Keep going, mate.
Keep going. Okay.
Yeah. Yep,
Is that enough?
that'll do, yeah. Just enough room to get everyone in, that's all.
Yes, you want to be not too close to the Chinook, so you don't blow it up. And make sure you don't hit anyone as well, like someone just did over there.
Who's just been hit?
Oh, no, yeah, so if you have the crates, like you have now, so if you take crates, obviously, you can actually injure people with them, so make sure you know where you're going with them. So if you bring them in line with the Chinook, you only use this. Oh yeah, it's true. Never mind. Yep, so if you all, once you've all done that, if you interact with the Chinook now, if you go interactions and cargo, cargo menu should come up.
No.
I've got the cargo
Interactions,
menu,
cargo.
but
Cargo space left 2. I've got unload. That's it.
Yeah, that's the cargo menu.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, so all the cargo will come up there. So I want in turn, hey Flockton, okay,
I'll pull it back out.
Larkson, I want you to put your crate in, so you've got 1 platoon.
So,
So you don't have to look at it, so you look at the crate.
oh, I look at the crate.
Yeah, so look
Okay.
at the crate, and then you should see load, and then the 4 IB Chinook A.
Loading cargo.
Yeah, so if you look in the cargo menu again, it should be in there. Is yours still in there, Flockton? Did you
Yep,
take it out?
that's it.
Oh no, I took it out.
There's only
Okay.
one.
Who picked the JHC crate?
Me.
Oh, you can put it in if you like I say if you want to take yours.
Oh, take
out.
mine out. Okay.
Oh, do you want me to do you want to move on to the next one? Because I now want them.
Yeah, just move the crate over there somewhere, so I know that you've done it.
Unloading. Will it just drop where I am, or just drop
It will
somewhere
drop
random?
in the vicinity of the airframe.
Sorry, Cap. I don't know if I
Yeah,
hit
so
the
it's
right
behind
button.
you now. So if you
Okay,
want
did.
I'm going to pick it up.
yeah, and just take it over where Flockton's taking his. Yeah, Cap if you want to do the same,
Yeah, it's loading.
and Jen if you want to do yours as well.
Okay. Can't seem to pick it up.
So
Give me a second.
load,
Tells me it couldn't be
So-
loaded.
Ace interact.
No, it just tells me it couldn't be loaded into the.
Turning with crate.
Yeah, so Cap if you take yours out.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Oop, there it is.
Yeah, so you should be able to load yours in there.
Just the two of us. We can make it if we try.
Give me a second. Yep, try those now. If you don't get the option, then move the crate closer.
Yeah.
Make sure not to hit the Chinook.
Yeah, it's working.
Yep. Once it goes in, check the cargo menu, then unload it. Use left. Those if you want to do yours.
Alexander,
Mm-hmm.
So if the script was working, would if I scroll with this, would it like show an animation of it like going up the crate and then into
Yeah,
the back?
so it would be this. Yeah, actually, yeah, it's working now. So if all of you come over here,
I don't get an option to interact.
it's on the box. So Ace interact with the box, load, and then
Okay.
once you've done that, then unload it and then come to the rear.
I don't have an option, so it's not close enough.
It should be load and then Chinook A.
I don't have an option for load.
It's not
In
load,
Ace.
just hover over. Should be interact and then load. Ace
Ace
interact.
interact.
Base interact. Yep.
So Windows key.
Load.
Yep. There it is. Finally found it. Yep. Got it. Thank
Load
you.
and then Chinook. Once you've done that, then yeah, just come to the rear.
The script's not working, do you say?
No, it is working. I've just got the option for it.
Gucci, well done.
Yeah, so obviously with the script now to load it in, make sure that the ramp is fully open, so it's on the ground. Move the cargo, so this box, near to the rear. And then obviously you look at the Chinook. If you all come here, you should see load cargo on Chinook. Everyone got the option scroll wheel?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you watch the box now, it will go in, you can see it there. If you look inside the Chinook.
Not as smoothing as I was anticipating it to be.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously, if you have equipment inside these boxes, yeah, it's cap here.
Shit, sorry.
Yeah, come over here. Yes, obviously, with the box inside the Chinook, obviously, if there's any equipment there, it will actually change the handling of the Chinook so it can feel heavier on takeoffs and landings. So obviously, if you're a pilot, you need to know the mass and the weight of the cargo once it's in there. So if I bring this out now, Nichols, I want you to load it up. So same thing again, load cargo on Chinook, and there should be a box on the right hand side of your screen that will come up default mass and then cargo mass.
Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously, just bring that out again.
Bring out.
Mods, if you want to do it as well, so look at the Chinook, load cargo on Chinook. You should see a pop-up come up with the mass and cargo. Yep.
Yep.
If you bring it out again, same thing, scroll wheel and unload cargo.
Is there crib sheets and things for the mass change and that sort of thing?
If you come and do it now, look at the Chinook load cargo. And it should pop-up should come up.
All right, yeah, cargo mass, current mass, default mass. Okay.
Yeah. So all of that. So if there's like I don't know some like GPMGs or ammunition in there, it will actually affect the weight and the handling of the Chinook. So if you have things in there, you need to tell the pilot what the mass is and all that, so he can obviously, be aware of the weight of the Chinook.
Is there a max weight of Chinook or?
No, there's not.
No.
When you're lifting cargo like that, it will lift everything that you put in the crate. The only time you get a max weight is when you're sling loading vehicles and stuff.
Okay.
But it's so hard to track with all the mod updates and changes that are done to the Chinook and changes that are done to vehicles in game. It's so hard to track what vehicles we can and can't lift. So literally, it's just a case of trial and error sometimes.
Okay.
I mean,
I was just wondering how much it would change. Obviously, you'd have to have more collective to get out.
Yeah, that's all it will change is you're going to need to have more collective to lift. And then when you do lift, that collective's not going to need to come down a bit because you'll ping up.
Yeah.
It will
Does it
change
get to a
bit.
point where you need a rolling start?
No, not
Okay.
on armor. You can uplift.
Jenny, if you want to try.
Sorry, it's just
Scroll wheel.
it's things that I've seen before that's stuck in my head that I need to know if it works in this game or
Yeah,
not.
do you see the pop up?
Yep.
Outside.
Yep. So yeah, unload it. Yeah. So with these crates, I think because I don't think with these crates the actual script works. So these are, as obviously you can tell with the writing on it. So if you see these crates, then they can be loaded on to the rear. But any of those like green crates over there, they won't be able to because the script isn't on them.
So is the crew chief responsible for this or the load master?
The
Loadmaster.
It would be the loadie.
Load
Okay.
master, yeah, but the crew chief is responsible for them.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions? No? Yeah?
Nope.
Alright.
Okay, so we've gone through servicing. Also, with the Ace Cargo, a fun thing that me and Hudson and a few others on an off night found out is airdropping cargo into OPs, PBs and stuff like that. You can actually like throw out the crates outside the Chinook while it's flying, and the parachute will come out and just drop down. Do you want to demonstrate that, Hudson, or not?
I've not got my flight stick plugged in, so no.
No,
Basically, all that happens is you fly along. It's funny how we found this out. The infantry last deployment, we done a coin deployment in a fictional place called Tajikistan, wasn't it? With a tip, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were stuck at a fob at the top of a hill. Pretty shit place to have a fob, if you ask me, but it's the infantry. They were getting surrounded by all sides by this insurgent group, and they were running low on supplies on their defence. Myself, I was flying. I don't know if any of you have met Fellows, but he was my co-pilot at the time, and they radioed through for requesting 2 boxes of ammunition. When you do drop-offs, you can only do 1 crate at a time because it's got to go through the ACE cargo instead of the loading up cargo. But we just found it out by accident, and it worked an absolute charm. It was absolutely epic from the front seat and the crew seat, flying over this horrible firefight at 4 in the morning, traces going everywhere, and we just drop a big crate of ammunition in the middle of this PV, and it just looked absolutely epic. We were so gassed with ourselves when we found out. We got back to the fob, landed the Chinook, and we was like little girls, pure fangirling over it. Like, oh,
Hudson, I'm just going to point out, you telling that story there has brought back my PTSD from Gustav.
Oh yeah, you was in Freemed, weren't you?
I was in Freemed at the time. That was a fucking horrible night.
Patrol-based Gustav flying over this firefight at 40 meters, throwing crates out the back was insane. It was unreal.
It came to something when we were stood fucking firing weapons as well.
Also,
Amazing.
if you're ever on a night and Hudson is piloting, because he does have to have 3 hours of piloting, but yeah. Yeah. In his SRPs, he's got to have 3 hours of flying each month. So if you're ever in a flight with Hudson, just be aware to go fast, because he will go fucking 400.
Oh yeah, I got taught how to 400 kilometers an hour in the Chinook. That was
Wow. That's fast jet speed.
you know PB Gustav. It was at the top of the hill. That time we was taking RPGs. I took off, went over the shoulder, and went vertically down the hill.
Jesus Christ.
Then I go, why am I seeing sky? What's going on?
I had Alex on the ramp going, I can see the sky.
I'm not going to lie, I would have loved to have been in the Apache on that op.
My next stop's looking juicy. Anyway, carry on.
Yeah, so that's kind of everything that I can really teach you. So obviously, I'm going to ask a few questions there to see if you're paying attention. So, Cap, sorry. What's the pilot's role in the Chinook?
To fly it?
Cap wasn't here.
Oh yeah, I wasn't here. I wasn't here for
yeah,
that
that's
bit.
it.
Yeah.
I'll back brief on the crew roles. Don't worry. Larkinson, what's the role of the Loadmaster?
Loadmaster is in charge of the rear of the airframe, loading of and exfil of equipment packs and casevac.
Okay. Nichols, what does ResOp stand for?
Say again, sorry.
What does ResOp stand for?
I don't know.
Whiz up.
WizOp, yeah, ResOp, well, yeah.
Oh,
You-
Whiz
Oh,
up.
WizOp.
WizOp.
It's a weapon system operator.
Yeah. What is so obviously you got the weapon system operator. Who is he? So in the structure of the Chinook, where is he at?
They are on the left side of the airframe, in charge of the M134, sorry. And they are normally the most junior member.
Yep, sound. Moses, once doing your refueling, rearming, repair stuff, what is the one thing that you must not do when you are driving a vehicle afterwards, after you've done your whatever it is you're doing with the Chinook?
You must not go forward.
Yeah, so what would you do instead?
Reverse or go to the side.
No, just reverse, never go
Just
to the
reverse.
side. Because obviously, if we're in a thing like this, we've got crates everywhere, and obviously, if you hit a crate, he's going to bounce back on you, and you're just going to hit the truck and blow up.
Okay.
So always reverse backwards. Flockton, why is it important for the infantry to follow the Loadmaster to the Chinook?
I'm just going to point out that I actually disconnected at that moment in time.
Okay. Again, what's the same question? Why is it important for the infantry to follow the Loadmaster?
So they don't get hit by the blades or
Yeah,
step on a
that's
mine.
cool. Yeah, okay. Depending on if it's what HLS. So what's it called if you're taking flight at HLS or it hasn't been cleared?
I'm not sure.
Hot HLS. So you have hot
yeah.
HLSs if it's not been cleared or the infantry or whoever's taking or is in a firefight near to the HLS. So cold HLS is, basically saying like this, nothing's happening. Nichols, what's the two different ways you can load cargo?
You can do it through Ace Interact, which you hold Windows key, look at the bird, and you can do it through the script at the back, as shown there.
Yeah, okay. So I'm just gonna have a little fun thing now. See those tugs behind you? Those are the way. That's the way. Instead of literally just getting into the pilot seat and turning on the engine and then moving the Chinook, you can actually move the airframes with the tugs. So actually, Hudson, can you put down a few more, please?
How many do you want?
3 more in it.
How many Chinooks do we have on? 4. How many have got? 6.
Put 2 more Chinooks down and you do tugs.
Actually, yeah, tug and then. So if Nichols, Jen, Cap, Flockton, and Larkinson and Moses, if you pair up, deciding yourself who's going to drive the Chinook, not Chinook, the tug, sorry. And I'll do it, yeah, and I'll tell you what to do with the tug and the controls and that.
Okay.
You want to drive, Moses?
Oh, you can drive.
Would you
Alright.
drive or?
I'll drive, I'll drive.
Am I guiding you in, I guess?
I think you are.
God.
Oh boy.
I'll let you teach a group. Huh? Yeah, I'll do these 2. You do the middle and Floxton can do the last one.
Using here then.
Nick and Zoe. Let's go to the Chinook over to the far northeast. Go to one of the green ones so we're out of everyone else's way.
It's the rear left is the tugging one, isn't it?
Yeah. So we go to this one here to our right now.
Okay.
And we go around the front.
I'm going to the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. And then line up behind it. What you can do is stop there, turn the engine off quick, scroll wheel. Double tap, I don't know if you know about this, but if you double tap left alt, that will allow you to move your head around with your mouse.
Yeah.
Driving. You'll be able to look over your shoulder. Right, whilst we're here, press left shift B and you should see 2 balls appear. One will appear in front of the Chinook and one will appear behind the tug. What you need to do now is back up until them balls are aligned with each other. And they might disappear.
Don't you tow Chinooks from the back?
For some reason this mod's done from you, the Chinook in front.
Okay.
So if you press shift B again, there we go, you got your balls. Going back until they're together. You're going back, you're going back. And then just about there, press shift B again. Nudge forward, you might be connected now. No, you're not, keep going back. There we go, you're on. You drive forward very slowly, the Chinook will come with us.
How do you change the speed?
Speed?
Yeah, because I press W and it legs off.
If you do, let me try and remember it. Delete key, so the one above your arrows, that will put speed limiter on.
Yep.
And then left control scroll wheel, you can change the speed of the speed limiter.
Where do you want me to take this?
If you just line it up here, that'll do. You're going to try and line it up in the line, aren't you?
No. Can't be bothered.
Right, cool. So press shift B again. And that will dump the Chinook, and then you can take off.
Okay.
What was it for the speed limiter?
Delete key above your arrows.
That's it, there we go.
And you just park up, turn your engine off, and pop seats.
You want me to? God. I was going to say, I thought you
Permission to not get in the vehicle.
Shut up.
I used to love pushing these.
Do you want to stop there and untether?
Better?
Yep, and now start backing up nice and slowly. So look over your left or right shoulder, whatever feels most comfortable. Start backing up nice and slowly. Give it some hard left so the arse end spins around. That's it, that'll do. Come straight back. And stop there. If you now press left shift B, the 2 balls should appear.
Do?
Yep, keep coming back. Keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. Try that there, press left shift B again. Come forward. Right, you're not on there.
Didn't get it.
So if you pull oh, you have got it.
I have?
Yeah. Oh, you did have. Oh,
I did, yeah.
Once we're all comfortable
You have,
with the
left
talk,
shift B now.
just go back to the
There you go.
Okay, now I've got it.
display channel
So now
for me, please.
you will be able to pull forward. You've got
Yeah, Alex,
unlimited
that
speed,
right
so you
control
stop there,
B isn't working.
and then
Like,
delete key above the
Try
arrows,
right
put
shift
speed limiter
B.
on. Left control scroll wheel up and down. You'll be able to change the speed, and it will show you in the top right hand corner how fast you're going to go at
Double
kilometers
show.
an hour.
Okay, gotcha, yep.
There's other little play around with that. Drive where you want to go.
Where do you want it putting?
If we just turn around left, hard left, just go all the way around. And see that Chinook over to your left with the guys in front of it?
Yep.
If you just line it up to the left side of that, try and line it up as best you can, you'll be able to keep right hand and loop round.
Okay.
Remember, it's quite long, so go deep.
Yep.
You can push it back if you need to, but
That's tricky.
That's a skill.
Yeah.
That's what my old job used to be, actually. I used to be a pushback driver for Ryanair.
I used to love doing that though.
Keep going forward.
Putting helicopters into hangars when there's no room is so much fun.
start pulling the vehicle.
That'll do there.
Okay. Yep.
Press left shift B and that will unhook it.
Yep.
And then pull forward at your own speed. And then if you drive the tug over to where we were at the start.
Is over here. Yeah, that one over there.
So, you were a ramp tramp then?
Actually, I wasn't. I'd done operations support. Which
Ah.
literally just meant that we'd go in at the night, tow aircraft away from stand, do basic maintenance on them.
Oh, nice.
Sleep for the rest of the shift, wake up at 4 a.m, pick them back up again, and bring them to stand, turn the electrics on, align the ins on the nav, and leave it there for the pilots. Right, that's it. You turn the
Nice.
engine off with scroll wheel. That's good effort. Let's go wait by Alex, see what he says. I've got it, my side, Alex.
Yeah, same with me. Yeah, so does everyone understand how to use the tug and what it's for, etc.?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so really that is practically the end of the DTT. Does anyone have any questions, any burning questions, whether it be anything to do with DTT or with Air Command or JHC as a whole?
Can we go through the crew roles again? Just
Yeah,
because I
so-
went here for that.
Yeah, sorry. So the most junior crew is the. Sorry, let me start from top to bottom. So the IC of the airframe is the pilot. So obviously he's focusing on the flying aspect of the Chinook, and also he communicates with other pilots of a preset 26. You got that?
Yeah.
Yep. So then you have the 2IC of the airframe, which is the co-pilot. So he focuses on the navigation, and obviously he's the backup pilot just in case the pilot goes unconscious for some reason.
Yeah.
And he communicates over preset 25 to Air Command HQ and other assets like JTACs on the ground.
Alright, yeah.
Yep. So then you have your 3IC, the airframe. You have which is called the crew chief. So he's in charge of the packs and the crew members in the rear of the Chinook, and also he's responsible for the equipment that gets put in there. So things like that, or the equipment in the ace cargo.
Alright, yeah.
Yep. So then you have the loadmaster. He fulfills the crew chief role if he is LOA for some reason, so he will step up to the crew chief. He is also responsible for the rear sector, so packs coming on and off, and equipment coming on and off. He's responsible for that.
Alright, yeah.
Yep. So he also mans the GPMG on the rear aircraft.
Alright, yeah.
Yep. So then you have so you have the weapon system operator. He's the most junior member of the crew. He's responsible for the left-hand side of the aircraft, so he obviously spots any obstacles on the left-hand side, and he also defends the aircraft with the M134 minigun on the side.
Alright, yeah.
Yep. So those are the roles of the
Alright, cool.
aircraft. Anyone got any other questions?
No, all good, thank you.
Nope. Moses, no. Chia, no.
Sorry, I muted my mic. All good, thank you.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So that concludes it. If there's nothing else, then you are. What?
I'm just gonna have a quick hello.
Okay.
Indeed. Hello, how are you all doing?
Good.
I'm
Hello,
alright.
Major Phils.
A good training, or is it a bit so-so and while it can be a wee bit boring sometimes?
That was good, informative.
That was good. Fantastic. Have you already come to an agreement that they're going to pay you a $5 after this or something? Or is it 10 or not?
I'd never give any money out my pocket, man.
That's because you don't have any money, Flockton.
Of course it's not, sir.
Right, do us a favour, take a knee for me. Welcome to the unit. I am, oh, it sounds weird saying this, Major J. Vills, or Vills as most people refer to me as. People usually only refer to me as Major J. Vills if they've done something wrong or they're Flockton. I hope you enjoyed your first night with us. I know for some of you it is definitely not your first night. Just a little bit of an insight into what you guys are going to be doing within Air, which is in a really good place at the moment with Hudson leading the way. Just a few things that I want to talk to you about the unit. Obviously, you've all come from different backgrounds. Who's been in an army unit before? Stand up. What 3 years? Oh, fantastic. Cap, where were you?
I can't actually remember the name. It was
Can't
like
remember, that's
an American unit.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Say things like copy and 10-4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Over and out.
That is disgraceful. People slap you if you do that here.
And I had to do ops at like 3 in the morning.
That is brutal. One of our Zeus's lives in Thailand. So
That's pretty
it's
shit.
a bit of a time difference for him, but I don't know how he manages that. What about you, Larkinson?
Did you mean armor unit or real unit?
Armor units.
Armor, no.
No,
I thought you meant real units.
I don't think it really applies here, does it?
No.
Hang on, you haven't asked him where he was.
Clicking buttons. Where were you?
I was RAF.
Oh, okay, that applies then. What did you do? Don't mind
Um,
me asking. You can tell me. Fuck off.
that was an aircraft engineer. Ended up as a flight engineer.
Oh, what type of aircraft did you work on?
I started on GR4s with number 2 recce. Then I went to 33 Squadron Pumas, the best Pumas in the sky.
Yeah.
And I actually built the Mark III Chinooks for Boeing.
Ooh.
And then I went on to the Royal Flight, which is 32 Squadron.
Oh, fantastic. So lots of experience within Air. The 2 I see of Air is also in the RAF.
Yes, he's a lodging officer.
He just puts.
So he's sort of in the
places
RAF
and
then.
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know, drives trucks around. Tells other people to drive trucks because he's an officer, I think.
Doesn't give
Make-
people
make
stuff because it
people
belongs to him. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all the RAF are the same anyway, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Anyway, a little bit about me. I am not of the military. I did not come from a military background any way whatsoever. I rely on the experience of others around me to help move this unit forwards. I started in this unit probably about 2.5 years ago in the exact same position you guys are in right now, kneeling down, looking at an OC, thinking, fuck me, what have I got myself into? This is all mental. Been in a few army units before that, but nothing like this, nothing to this scale, the depth of it, the realism side, and all of the opportunities to have a bit of fun that we provide. And that is something that I pride myself in. It's one of the values that I hold very dear to my heart. I'm not going to talk about the force values. My values are making sure that everyone that joins this unit has fun and has a good time. It's an enjoyable place to be. Nobody feels left out, and people have the option to do what they wish to do in this unit. We have someone that wanted a power washing mod at one point so he could wash trucks. Unfortunately, I don't go that far, but we did let him do some REME stuff. Which for the guys in REME, they all came to me and then said that's not what REME does, but the vote is still out on that. A little bit about me. As I said, not in the military at all. I help organisations. Currently working with an organisation to guide 50,000 people in that organisation on how they work and what to do next and a bit of their strategy. So a lot of experience leading things, which is probably why I was voted as tribute to be in the position that I am in right now. Still trying to look for a way of getting out of it, but we'll see if any of you guys we can just change his round and switch his out. No, I jest. So first up night, Saturday. How many is thinking of attending Saturdays? Oh yeah, Flotton. Okay. Cool, fantastic. And then we've got Sundays and Wednesdays, so we've got 3 up nights. Obviously, a big change for Wednesdays, for us anyway, for us older members of the unit, or sorry, older members of the unit, people who've been here a wee bit of time. Changing over to 1 Yorks, which is armoured infantry, moving away from armoured recce, which is RDG, that we currently do. So lots of opportunity there if you're into the plane side of things, rather than the things that go straight up and down, rather than very fast side to side. As you can tell, I've not really been close to air. I don't really know how any of this works. But what are you looking forward to the most in the unit? Quick question, please.
Yep, good talk, guys.
That's all right.
Yeah.
I will wait.
You put me on the spot here.
For me, it's going to be flying in, getting people in and out, and hopefully getting to shoot the minigun at a target.
I would love to see that. I complain to Air all the time that they don't use the minigun enough, and then they keep telling me that it's only for defence. But
I used it on Wednesday. I want to use it again and actually hit something.
The last time I saw you, Larkinson, you were dead.
Yes, that was not my fault.
Of course.
So I don't know if it worked very well for you.
Well,
Overall, welcome to the unit. The only thing that I would ask of you guys is we do have a very experienced NCO pool, the people that don't have private in front of the name usually, Lance Corporals and above, as well as the officers in this unit are all kind of come from multitude of backgrounds, but mainly picked for the qualities when it comes to leadership and the commitment, and they are all more than open to answering questions at any time. If you want to pop into TeamSpeak channels, I'd ask them a question, feel free. If they're in an office channel, then give them a poke first or send them a message and say, hey, have you got time for a chat? We're always open to have a chat about things that are going on in the unit, any suggestions, any problems that you're having. Your chain of command is here for you, which you can find on the ORBAT on the website. Sorry, I said the only thing that I'd ask for you. The other thing that I'd ask for you is that we have a system here, you've probably already been told about it, which is your leave of absences. It all sounds very professional, but effectively what that is, if you are rotated onto a Saturday because you say, I can do Saturdays, and then you can't make it because you fancy going to the pub with your mates, which I realise is not a thing right now, or you fancy sitting on the sofa watching Netflix with your partner, then please do let us know in advance. About 4 hours we ask, cut-off time 3 hours we ask. 3 hours?
Yeah, we say
3 hours.
PM.
You say 3 p.m. Jesus Christ, you all do it differently. 3 p.m. And the only reason that we ask for that is because now that you have passed your DTT,
yeah, they all need to do phase 1 still.
Sorry, you can tell I'm from the infantry. You are now an integral part of this unit. You may not feel it right now, but you are. Because as you all know, every slot on that Chinook usually needs to be manned, and every slot on those Pumas over there before they fall over and crash need to be manned as well. So give the people in your areas best notice you can, just so that they can organise cover for it. Okay, any questions for me?
Now have a constant, please.
You can have another fucking vowel in front of your name. No, none? Alright, I'll leave you to it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
You want me to chat tonight or what?
Yeah, go on.
What I'll do to put it into perspective for you guys,
I
when
need
we
to
get back into the
finish
classroom, I'll play
folks
is the sound clip I've got.
Okay.
So obviously, like Major Phil said, obviously you are part of the 4th now. So As you are now, you still ACs. Well, obviously not you, Flockton, and not you, fucking Nichols. But yeah, for you ACs, obviously you are part now. But once you have done your phase 1, obviously you'll be assigned to your squadrons. So that's when you will start to post your LOAs. I'll be making, well, if you're 18, I'll get someone to make your LOA thread so you can post in there when you need to. So if there's not anything, I can't speak today. If there's nothing else, then you are free to disconnect. Obviously, you can find me on TS or Discord if you have any questions after this.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you very much.
Everyone out.
See you when you see you guys.
Cheers, boys.
Yep.
I need to clean up.
Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to be notified of more videos. Larkinson out.